Pakistan.
Ajo, please take your seat. Can you please introduce yourself to all of us?
My name is Ayesha Ehtsham. I did my early schooling and college from APS Peshawar in 2012. Afterwards, I completed my BS in Bioinformatics in 2017 with third position and distinction. I have always been a very hardworking and dedicated student. Despite getting married after matriculation, my thirst to pursue knowledge led me to have higher education along with marriage. With the support of my husband,
Learn with Nice. Our
I was
YouTube
able
channel
to
is a
manage my
well-developed
studies along
platform
with
where
my
students
3
across the
kids,
globe can have
mashallah.
access to mostly all
And
fields.
after becoming mother of 3 kids, my aspirations to pursue my career got impetus. So then since 2017, I've been preparing for this civil service examination. And Alhamdulillah, today I'm feeling fortunate to be sitting in front of the respectable figures.
Good. You come from KPK province.
Yes.
Tell us something about KPK. Introduce the KPK province to all of us.
So KPK province is known as the land of hospitality. Its culture is very rich. The KPK itself, the city Peshawar through which I belong, that has been a very historical, significant city because many great empires have come over there. It is also a center of Buddhism, and there have been Akbar the Great has also been over there. The Britain has also passed through this city, and Sir Peshawar is itself a very multi-diverse country. You can multi-diverse district. You can see over there lot of Pashtuns, Hindko, but all are living in a harmony with each other. There are also small part of Sikhs are also residing over there. So that it's a fusion of culture is residing over there, but they all are living in harmony. It's a land of hospitality. You can find over there women who are following the Islamic junctions, but even then they are having the freedom to enjoy the bazaars and they live very happily over there. There is a great respect for women over there. If you are standing in a line in Peshawar, so the women will be preferred and they will be given the first place over there. The women are entertained
Learn
over
with
there.
Nice. Our
They are
YouTube
respected
channel
as
is a
the
well-developed
sisters or their
platform where
daughters,
students across the
and
globe can have
always
access to
there
mostly
is
all
an
fields.
easiness for women over there. And so Peshawar is if we talk about its food, they are also very delicious, and it is known as a land of hospitality because the doors of the villages are always open for even for the strangers. If you knock on the door and ask for food or water, they will give you a complete meal and they will entertain you as if you guys are not strangers to them. In fact, they will treat you as you know them from a long time.
How do you see the merger of FATA with the KPK?
So merger of FATA with the KPK, in my side, I think it's a very good decision because before the situation at the FATA was not very appreciable due to the tribal rule over there, because each tribe has its own rule to give the justice and each tribe has its own decorum to maintain their social activities. So what actually was happening over there, that there was a wish of the tribal leaders to educate a girl. There was a wish of a tribal leaders to get the girls married at an early age. There were no rules and regulation, not such any state principles were followed over there. Even if there was a fight or something over there, there was always khoon ke badle khoon, and all these things were very
subscribe
prevalent
Learn
over
with
there.
Nice, our
And
YouTube
the
channel for
control
more
of the
such
FC
type
was
of
also
useful
not
videos.
so much valid over there. That was inappropriate almost. So sir, and keeping in view of these scenarios, I think the merger is in a good way because it will provide each and every common man residing in the FATA to avail equal opportunities which are being offered by the state to everyone as a citizen of Pakistan. So sir, I think so far it's a good step, but the challenges which are being now underway due to the merger, that is that the funds are equally distributed, they are correctly allocated, the things, the administrative issues and the issues which are like on the basis ke ab quota kis tarah se hoga, all these, if these are managed well, then it will prove to be a worthy decision. Otherwise it can also be like give bad results if it's not managed properly. The situation can turn worse.
Ayesha, if the government of Afghanistan hire you as an advisor to its government, what advice she will give them in the current scenario of Afghanistan?
So firstly, I would suggest them to include the all the ethnic groups which are residing in Afghanistan. Like I would suggest them that the government should be set up in such a way that may include all the ethnic groups, so that there is no chance that any ethnic group just get together or they do a coalition with ISKP or any other non-state actor to destabilize the Taliban government or the Afghan government. Secondly, sir, I would highly suggest them to include women in their government, because that is a very important aspect which is being discussed at the international and global level as well. So I would pursue them with the religious statements and with the religious references, so that they are fully convinced to incorporate women, and I would make them to practice the freedom of women in the ambit of Islamic principles, but do not isolate them as it is being done today. And thirdly, sir, I would suggest them to introduce a proper reform or plan that is also like available internationally, their action plan, or I would say their policies which they would be implementing, so that everyone is aware of that their plan is inclusive and completely reliable or suitable for the Afghan society. So I think I would focus on these three suggestions to be implemented, and I think that by implementing on these three suggestions, the other problems, that is of the recognition at international level, that will be resolved, because we will be representing the women. So one aspect that we have been not weighing the human rights will be automatically, I would say, it would be not dismissed from their point of view. And so secondly, if we provide them a plan, public policy plan, which would be applied on the Afghanistan government, so the international organization would also be convinced by our policies, and they will be open-heartedly investing in Afghanistan to improve its deteriorated situation, and the accounts which have been frozen will also be unfreezed, so that they can be used for the benefit of the Afghanistan.
So why you have not opted for police and foreign service of Pakistan?
Actually, I can tell you the reason for the police is that I, by nature, I'm not so. I believe that if you want to be a police, so you have to be a hardcore type personality. Although I'm very strong from inside, I have a lot of strong points. I can handle any situation. But me myself, my personality,
subscribe,
I am
learn
not
with
that
Nisar
kind of
YouTube
hardcore
channel for
personality.
more
I just
such
can't
type of
see the
useful
violence
videos.
or thing which is done in the police station, the criminals. I can't bear that sort of atmosphere. So therefore, I thought that I won't be able to show my best over there. I will be consistently like, oh, what is this?
Foreign service.
And so foreign service is exactly like the same reason. So I think that the reason for which I want to pursue civil service is that I must become an aspiration for the girls, for the women who are like me, who are married at an early age. I want them to see me. So I think that in foreign service, I will be representing my country at international level. So I will be
so how will
away
you
from
try
the
to present yourself as a PAS officer?
How will I try to present myself? So as we all know that the civil service is very prestigious, and if one is in a past, so you are always moving in your district and the area. So the common people, they know you a lot. Like even I know, even a child would be knowing that who is the DC of Islamabad, because he's always on social media and everything. So I think that if I am,
that will make you status conscious.
No, sir.
People know a lot about you, and you are an important man.
Sir, I don't want to be important, but I want to be so much common among the common people. Like if any woman from rural area is seeing me on TV or on social media, I would just highlight my story that yes, I was also married like them. I also get married at an early age. But if I can pursue my dreams, then why not you? You are residing in your houses, you can also. And so secondly, I think that being in PAS, I would be able to communicate with them easily. Okay. Instead of foreign service of Pakistan.
Biology is your subject. You did your biology. So what is smoke screen?
Smoke screen, sir, I have no idea.
Biology?
Sir, I have no idea. Huh? Sorry. Smoke screen, I have no idea.
There is an animal which pumps out smoke when it runs away. If it is attacked, if there is a threat to him. that animal,
Sir, I have no
when
idea,
it runs
sir.
away, there is a smoke which comes out of it, and uh, the uh, the animal which is trying to attack him is not able to identify him, trace him, so he can escape.
I've seen that animal in cartoons as well, but I'm unable to remember its name.
Okay. What is the significance of biodiversity?
What is it? So biodiversity. So there's a lot of significance of biodiversity if we talk about the significance of biodiversity in the ecosystem, in the ecological atmosphere, because we think that if the biological species are diverse, then the food chain, which has been which is the natural phenomena that is moving in a stabilized manner. And if biodiversity is not present, then what happened, and there is a complete disturbance in the food chain system, and automatically if we say among the lower cycle of the food chain, a competition for the fittest of the survival starts. And then what happened, the whole ecosystem is disturbed, the food chain supply is disturbed for humans as well and for the animals as well. In this way, the environment is almost deteriorated, and it also damaged and get attacked by pollutions and all these things as well. So I think biodiversity is very important in terms of a stable ecosystem.
And have you heard about the sixth extinction?
So is this about the animals who have been extincted,
Yeah.
like they are on the
Species.
verge of
Yes.
extinction? So one is panda, I think, who's which is extincting. Then I was reading a report on National
What do you
Geographic.
mean by the sixth extinction?
The sixth extinction is the six important animals which are required to be in the ecosystem. They have very significance, but they are not being saved. They are being hunted, or they are not, like atmosphere is not being provided to them so that they can breed.
The
And
plant and animal species. They are, you see.
so I have
They
an
are
idea
getting-
about animals, but I have no idea
Hey,
about the plant.
subscribe Learn with
Plant and
Nisar
animals, they are
YouTube
getting
channel for
extinct
more such
because-
type of
because
useful
of this,
videos.
global warming. Why the debt burden, volume of debt burden is increasing day by day in our country?
The volume of debt burden is increasing day by day in our country. So I think firstly, it's because of the prevalence of COVID-19, which has been so abrupt and immediate. We were unaware in the beginning about its symptoms, about its after effects, and how it is causing. Still, I believe that although research have been done, vaccination have also been produced, but there are many loopholes which are needed to be discovered. So I think that the sudden arrival of the COVID-19 and along with the symptoms which were even a common man, a doctor, professional were unaware. So the debt burden has immediately increased in Pakistan just because of the arrival of the COVID-19. So secondly, if we could say that because of the COVID-19, we all have been isolated in our rooms and homes so much that other sort of like
What
depression.
other factors are responsible other than COVID-19?
So mental health is
The debt burden of the country, the volume of debt burden.
okay, sir.
What is debt burden?
Okay, sir. I'm not clear about the terminology debt burden. I thought that you are talking it to be related to biological aspects. So I was.
Debt burden, I was saying, I've repeated it 2-3 times.
So you saying that we are taking loans from IMF and all that. What is the reason why we are doing this?
Volume of it is increasing. What is
Sir,
the reason for
because,
that?
sir, it is the reason is of course our economic situation, which is deteriorating day by day. Our imports are our imports are increasing, our exports are declining. So the tax which is not being collected properly, the political instability is hindering our economic generation. So the CPEC projects and all that have come to a halt because of the COVID-19 and other issues through which we are being inside our home. So education, which is the very important aspect that has been stopped since last 2 years. So, sir, all these things, I think it has lead us to go into that burden which we are talking about. So, sir, ultimately we have to take loans because we are unable to complete our energy. There is energy crisis in the country. The taxes are less. Our GDP ratio, our currency is day by day devaluing. Our foreign reserves are extinct, like finishing. We have to pay circular debt as well, and therefore.
Ayesha, you have done BS in bioinformatics. Could you tell us about what is bioinformatics?
Yes, ma'am. Bioinformatics, it's actually a very interesting field due to which I pursued it as well, because I found it's a new thing and most of the people are unaware about it. It's actually a marriage of information technology and biology. So it is called as bioinformatics. It's a definition for a layman. But what happens actually is that our human body is composed of genes, like we have a genetic composition, and every gene gives you a certain type of phenotype. Like if my eyes are brown, so there is a gene behind it. And similarly, many other qualities, even the IQ level, emotional intelligence, all these are linked to our genes. So there are numerous genes in our body which are uncountable. So earlier, what used to happen in history, that scientists used to they used to had a manual record of the genes, and then they used to analyze. It was very time consuming. It took a lot of time. So what happened in bioinformatics, that what the scientists did, that they collected all the data related to the genes and they just put it into the computer. And now what happened afterwards, that if we need any information regarding any genes, because the Human Genome Project has been completed since 2000. So if we need any information regarding any gene, what we will do, we will use that computer software and we will type the name of a gene which is linked to the eye color or anyone. And once we type it, we will get all the information that if like this is a gene, this is responsible for this sort of eye color, and if there is an abnormality in this gene, then this could be the consequences and how we could cure them, because it's also a sort of biochemistry is also involved in it, because if you want to mutate that gene or if you want to counter that mutation of the gene, so that's all in the computer software. That's if we see DNA and all the DNA fingerprinting and all this, so that's a sort of advanced biotechnology which is being done on computers. And so it's quite helpful because there are many diseases which are genetic, which are prevalent. So it's helpful or humane in such a manner, like it serves humanity, that if a mother is expecting and if she undergo her genetic test, then she will automatically know that her child is likely to suffer from any genetic disease of diabetes or anything. So that could be controlled initially before the child is born. So in this way, it is serving humanity as well.
Thank you very much. You have also kept international relations as your subject.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell us what is the politics in South China Sea at this moment?
Ma'am, the politics in South China Sea is not very new. In fact, it has been from the last I think since 2017. It has been in limelight because the South China Sea is a very important area through which the world trade passes through. And firstly, according to the law of international sea, it has been claimed by USA that it's an international area and everyone is able to have a free trade and navigation over here. But what is actually happening, as we see that nowadays the international world is striving for economic supremacy. The one who is economically stable or economically supreme, he is the one who is leading the world. So USA and China, as we all know, that they are in consistent competition between them, and the only thing competition nowadays, the aspect is only economical between them. So the South China Sea, as I already mentioned, that they have a trade significance, world trade significance over there. So America is sponsoring, or I would say it's funding the allies which are near South China Sea, like Philippines, Australia, and Japan, and all that, so that they should have their strong bases over there. So they should keep a check over China if it's involved in some any other thing. But what is the story at the China side? If you see the China perspective, they claim that that area is their own. Like they have their historical maps as well, through which they are consistently trying to empower the international institutions as well, that area is there. And they have themselves started building artificial islands over that Spratly Islands and Pearl of Strings area. And they have started making artificial islands over there because they are afraid that there can be someday that America is hindering them to trade, because America already know that it is eventually rising to their level. So I think that South China Sea has become more than a political playground now, because China is consistently building artificial islands over there, and they are also having their military bases over there, because they are making themselves prepared that if in case of anything they are able to fight over there, or they are able to counter USA. So that is the significance of South China Sea in my sight, that it's a
Thank you very
important
much,
trade
Ayesha.
zone.
I'll hand over to my colleague.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Ayesha, what is smog? Yesterday, it was informed that in Pakistan, Lahore has been declared as the worst city. What is smog?
So smog is something, a fog and smoke. Basically, if we talk in a layman definition, it's a combination of fog and smoke. When they combine, so it creates a smog. And so smog, the history of smog, or I would say the prevalence of that is very harmful for the common people as well, because it caused very eye diseases and respiratory illnesses. And it is basically, if the news about which you are talking, it is basically from what happened at the crops, every
Thank you.
season the crops.
What is genetically modified seeds?
So genetically modified seeds are basically the seeds which are being let's suppose I will try to elaborate this concept by giving you an example of a tomato. Like if we have a tomato, and if there is a certain gene in tomato which is responsible for making it red, which is responsible for making it juicy or tasty. What we do in genetically modified seeds, that just suppose that if we want our tomato production to be more red, what we will do, that the gene which is responsible for giving the red color, we will insert that, we will like take out the gene which is responsible for the red color of the tomato, and we will modify it by adding some bases to it, and then we will insert it again into it. It's the same like DNA recombinant.
What is the health and moral issues related with genetically modified seeds vis-a-vis doing or replicating this technology into humans?
There have been a lot of research over it, that like are they like morally correct or not. So as far as my knowledge, the crops which have been like used by genetically modified, as far they have not produced so much problem to the human health. But yes, if you talk about this genetically modified technology or this aspect in humans, like there was recently a case of cloning which was done by a Chinese scientist who did cloning. That is morally questionable, because that is something which we would say that that's not morally acceptable, that how you can take out one's ability and you have to put it in someone else. That's something morally questionable, I would say.
Who discovered DNA fingerprinting?
I don't remember.
How many chromosomes in human cell?
23. So 46. There are 46, and then they into 23.
Sir, over to you.
Okay, let's conclude this formal session. Let's go for informal discussion. What do you think? What is your assessment about your performance this morning?
So I think it was fair. Like not so good and not so bad, but it was in the middle.
Okay. I think, Ayesha, it is a very good performance, at least to me. You are, mashallah, very original. You are very original in thinking. Your thoughts are very clear. You are analytical. and you are very objective. You're talking about objectivity, and you have got lot many initiative in life. You have demonstrated. With that, I can say you are A plus intelligently. Personality is very fine. Communication skills are very
Hey, subscribe Learn
good.
with Nisar YouTube
The
channel
only
for
advice
more
I can
such type
give
of
you is to
useful
keep it up
videos.
and remain in state of preparedness till you go for the final interview.
Yes. And you did very well. And I think you can, if you put in a little more effort, you can still do better. आप ये थोड़ी सी जो है ना अपना एनर्जी लेवल उसको थोड़ा सा ठीक करें. At times you give gloomy look. थोड़ा सा
सर वो आज भी तबीयत भी थोड़ी सी ठीक नहीं है, लेकिन
अगर वो बात है फिर ठीक है. अदरवाइज अगर कोई ऐसी कुछ बात है आप समझती हैं तो थोड़ा सा जो है ना उसमें जो है लुक्स जरा अच्छी ब्राइट होनी चाहिए जरा जो है. बाकी आई थिंक
Ayesha, you have a very good personality. You're a very smart girl. But if you allow me, I will give you some advice on how you should come, how should you be dressed. The color you're wearing is very nice, but you shouldn't be wearing silver shoes. You should be wearing dark brown or black shoes.
Then I have my black shoes and I wore it, but it was heel and today I was like feeling dizzy. So I thought कि it's good कि गिरने से बेहतर है कि मैं कुछ और पहन लूँ, otherwise कुछ मसला ना हो जाए. Otherwise I have taken black shoes, I bought them and I would be wearing that. I just wore it today because I'm feeling dizzy, so I thought it कहीं गिर ना जाऊँ तो ये सही.
Understandable, but I'm just giving suggestions because we have to judge you on how you are at this moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Other than that, I think you're very good, and I'm confident you'll do very well.
Okay. Thank you.
आयशा, सब कुछ बहुत अच्छा है. 3 चीजें मैं जरूर विद द परमिशन ऑफ पैनल मेंशन करूंगा. एक, सर ने जिस तरह कहा आपकी हैंड मूवमेंट जो है ना आपकी उस चीज को थोड़ा सा नेगेटिव कर रही है.
ठीक है.
दूसरा, perhaps I have felt that you are not a very keen listener. At 3 or 4 questions you made the panel ask about it. If it's particularly about today when you are not feeling well, perfectly fine.
Yes, sir, it's about today.
But if it is like you are somewhere else when he's asking the question, देखो communication is always two ways. ठीक है, जो आप communicate कर रहे हो बहुत अच्छा communicate कर रहे हो. But the other part is आपने सुनना भी है कि question क्या है. One odd question or another you make the panel repeat doesn't look bad, but on every other question. Third, जो मुझे लगा है, but Sir Saud and all that वो सारे बेहतर करेंगे. One should know when to stop the answer. इसलिए मैं आपकी छोटी छोटी चीजें सामने ला रहा हूं. You should know when I have to stop. You speak at length, knowledge भी होती है. But when you speak so much, then at the end, you start speaking irrelevant. You start speaking incorrect facts. So you should better know कि जो चीज पूछी है वो 4 सेंटेंस या 6 सेंटेंस में जब उसका सवाल adequately convey हो गया, then you should keep quiet.
Yes, I have been advised this as well to make my answers concise.
आप बहुत at length ज्यादा बोलते हो, ठीक है, इसको थोड़ा सा स्ट्रक्चर करो. बाकी it's very good.
Best of luck. Keep it up.